for for recording.
Recording in progress.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Ascension Parish Council, January 20th, 2022. It'll be a video conference. And for public comment, we ask you to call 225-621-8636 and enter the participant code 939496. I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask Coach to do an invocation for us and a pledge.
Let's bow our heads. Most Heavenly Father, as we come at this hour in the evening, we come, Lord, to say thank you for the many blessings you bestowed upon each of us. Father, as we bow at this hour, Lord, we are very grateful and thankful for allowing us to have the meeting. I pray, Lord, that you bless this meeting, bless Ascension Parish, allow us to move forward, allow it, Lord, to do the things that you please with us. And Lord God, as we come to a close, as we come to the end of 2021, going into 2022, allow us this second meeting to move forward. Bless Ascension Parish, bless this council, and continue to look over us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate that. Again, I'll repeat for anyone who wants to call in on an agenda item. The call-in number is 225-621-8636, and the participant code is 939496. And at this time, I'll ask the Secretary to read the agenda. Ms. McKee.
Cooperative endeavor agreement between the Parish of Ascension and Ascension Parish 4-H to provide funding in the amount of $8,000 to assist Ascension Parish 4-H with the South Central Livestock Show to be held February 2022 at Lamar Dixon Expo Center. Approval of change order number 7, Ascension Parish Courthouse project, the Lemoyne Company to decrease amount of contract $94,643. Renewal of contract with Total Energy Solutions Company, LLC for major and minor preventative maintenance and building load tests 2 times per year for each unit. Total amount of $135,230.02. Approval of cooperative endeavor agreement between the Parish of Ascension and East Baton Rouge Parish, granting authorization for East Baton Rouge Parish to piggyback on a contract between DRC Waterway debris removal services for the joint effort to clean out Bayou Manchac. Approval of amendment number 5 to automated fleet fuel system and supplier for on-site dispensing, off-site dispensing, and bulk deliveries by Roland J. Robert Distributors, Inc., extension of 6 months to begin on February 1st, 2022. Approval of change order number 1 in the amount of $1,543 for increased cost of materials, equipment since bid date, Delcon LLC, Hillaryville Wastewater Treatment Plant Project, new total amount of $121,193. Approval of substantial completion for the Hillaryville Wastewater Treatment Plant renovation, Delcon LLC. Approval of purchase 2 2023 Freightliner M2-106 Encore rescue trucks for Fire District number 1, state contract 4400017741, Siddons Martin Emergency Group LLC, total cost of $808,811.93. Approval of cooperative endeavor agreement between the City of Donaldsonville and the Ascension Parish Recreation Department for the use of the Lemon Center and to provide recreational programs in Donaldsonville. Approval of cooperative endeavor agreement between Kingdom Fitness Recreation and the Parish of Ascension for the parish basketball program. Approval of facility usage agreement between Ascension Catholic School and Parish of Ascension for use of certain facilities at South Louisiana Fairgrounds. Approval of cooperative endeavor agreement with the Ascension Parish School Board for roadway corridor improvements at Parker Road and Highway 929. Zoning review ID PZ 2736.21, lots 2, 3, 4, Magnolia Lane subdivision for Jody Ducote, located on the east side of Magnolia Estates, approximately 350 feet north of Perkins Road to amend the Ascension Parish zoning map from medium intensity residential to light industrial, to accept or deny recommendations to deny from the Zoning Commission. Zoning Review ID PZ 2775.22, 1.34 acre lot of the Ruby Ori property for Michael Fresina, located on the south side of Seabro Road, approximately 1,050 feet west of LA Highway 73, to amend the Ascension Parish zoning map from medium intensity residential to mixed use corridors, to accept or deny the recommendation to approve from the Zoning Commission. Introduction of ordinance to declare surplus and authorize the sale of a movable property, right-of-way property located on Commerce Lane. Reading of ordinance to amend the Ascension Parish Code of Ordinances, Chapter 2, Administration, to add Section 2-121, Procedure for Records Requests by Council Members, and an ordinance to be adopted, and the same ordinance to be adopted. Reading of ordinance directing the renewal of the levy and collection of an ad valorem tax of 2.0 mils on the dollar of assessed valuation of all property subject to taxation within the geographic boundaries of the Parish of Ascension for a 10-year period for the purpose of maintaining and supporting the Ascension Parish Public Health Center, including buildings, maintenance expenses, and other related healthcare expenses. And the ordinance is on for adoption as well. Executive session, Ascension Parish Government and Matassa versus Berkeley Insurance Company and Harry Robert Insurance Agency, Inc., docket number 125859, 23rd Judicial District Court, and an executive session for Employee Vehicle Accident Settlement Authority. John, you're on mute.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask if there are any agenda item that any council member would like to object to having on the agenda. At this time, I need a motion to approve the agenda as read. Motion by Chase, second by Michael. Any objection? There being none, we move forward. Thank you. I forgot to mention that the 15-minute will begin with the presentation. No, wait, correct me if I'm wrong, Cinnamon, but the 15 minutes will start after the agenda is read, correct?
Yeah, we can start the 15-minute call-in period right now, and Parish President can do his report during that 15 minutes.
That's fine. That's perfect. Okay, I have no chair's additions at this time. We'll move on to item 5, Parish President's report. President Quintmont, welcome.
Thank you, Chairman Cagnolati. Good evening, Council. Out of an abundance of caution and in consultation with the emergency officials, Ascension Parish government will be closed on Friday, January 21st, 2022, due to winter weather conditions moving into our area this afternoon and potential hazards and driving conditions tomorrow. The Ascension Parish Health Unit and Albertsons Pharmacy are offering free Pfizer vaccines to anyone age 5 years and older. The free pop-up vaccination clinic takes place from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. this Saturday, January 22nd, at the Ascension Parish Health Unit. The address is 1024 South East Ascension Complex Boulevard in Gonzales. No appointments are necessary. Vaccines will be administered by professional health unit employees and Albertsons pharmacists. Ascension Parish Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness has received a limited supply of the free at-home COVID tests from LDH to distribute to the public next week. Tuesday, January 25th, at the Frank Sotil Jr. Pavilion in Donaldsonville from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. while supplies last. This Thursday, January 27, the distribution will be at Lamar Dixon Expo Center in Gonzales from 9 a.m. until noon or while supplies last. The distribution will be the same as when emergency supplies were passed out after Hurricane Ida. It will be drive-through only. Residents will not exit their vehicles. Because supplies are limited, only one box, which contains 2 tests, will be given to each vehicle while supplies last. There will be no exceptions. Finally, I would like to invite Jared Bauer of All South Consulting to give us an update on our waterway debris program. Jared?
All right. Thank you, Chairman, Council. Glad to be here. Thanks for the opportunity. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. A brief presentation to share with you. All right, everybody should be able to see that, correct? All right, great. All right, I'll get started. So again, appreciate the opportunity. So I'm here tonight to give you all an update on the Hurricane Ida waterway debris removal operations. I will jump right in. So what you should see here is an update overview slide for you all. So to date, you'll see that we've removed just over 45,000 cubic yards in Ascension Parish waterways. That 45,000 comes out of approximately 12 miles of waterway that have been cleared to date, which is made up of 4 current waterways: Bayou Manchac, Bayou Conway, Panama Canal, and New River. Of those 4, DRC, the contractor, has 7 crews working in those waterways, made up of what you see there below. 3 crews are in Bayou Manchac, 2 in Conway, 2 in Panama, and 1 in New River. I'll mention that we did just start in New River, so that's why you see the one just kicking off. Just for reference, we're averaging about 2,000 cubic yards removed per day, so it's a pretty good number. And again, as they continue, we expect that number to increase. So this map, it's a little busy, but what you can see out of this is these are the permitted waterways we have achieved in Ascension to date. So before we can get in and clean any canal, we have to make sure that that waterway is permitted. So the highlighted blue waterways, you'll see them both on the east and west bank, kind of dotted throughout the parish right now. This incorporates on an overall view kind of everything that has been permitted to date. So you can kind of see kind of broad scale we are encompassing generally most of the parish at this point. These are those permitted waterways just listed out for you. So it's that map just put into Word format here. You'll see the East Bank and the West Bank waterways here listed. I'm gonna run through this fairly quick. We just wanted to put those out there for you that you can see kind of what they are to date. So those are all the permanent waterways. These are the active ones that I mentioned that the contractor is working in right now. So you've got Bayou Manchac, you've got New River, you've got Panama Canal, you've got Bayou Conway. And you can see them all kind of listed there. Blue being the outlined section of the waterway that they'll be working in, orange being the outlined section of that they have completed and are working in to date. And you'll see some updates here. We'll get into those individually. But again, there's your cubic yardages per waterway. Manchac, just over almost 14,000 cubic yards. Conway, just over 10,000. Panama, about 12,300 cubic yards. And New River, again, 9,200 yards. And as I mentioned, we did just start New River. So that gives you the idea of kind of the capacities coming out of New River. You'll see the mileages there. New River, as to speak to what I just mentioned, we've only done about half a mile and we're already at about 9,000 cubic yards. So zooming in a little bit here, this is the map of the progress on Bayou Manchac. Again, that 13,000 plus cubic yard figure. And you see kind of what they've worked out. You'll see in the center of this, that green pinpoint is the staging area. So the way this works, and I've got some pictures to show this to you in a bit here, but the way this works is as the contractor picks up debris in the waterway via barge, he takes that back via that barge to that staging area. From that point, he offloads it onto onto land, onto a vehicle, at which point it's removed to the Lamar Dixon. So this is the staging area for Bayou Manchac, and that's actually the parish's yard on Camp Drive. Some pictures for you all of Bayou Manchac, just to get an idea of debris. This is the contractor working. When I mentioned he's putting it on a barge, right? You'll see it there. They pick it up with grapples and put it on the barge. And just this picture is a good instance. What you see there that looks like fence boards, it's actually bark from one of the trees being removed, just to give you an idea of the magnitude and the size of the trees that are coming out that were damaged from Ida. Again, some more pictures of Manchac. what you're looking at right here is the contractors pulling out both vegetative debris and construction debris. As the construction debris comes out, it gets piled up right here. So construction debris is basically anything besides trees, limbs, vegetation. So what you see there is fence boards, some pallets. It actually looks like there's a refrigerator in the back there. That's all getting piled up, and that goes to a separate endpoint than the vegetative debris. And there it is right there getting offloaded into the vehicle, which then takes it to Lamar Dixon. As mentioned earlier, there is an item on the agenda tonight to discuss that cooperative endeavor with East Baton Rouge. That did take a trip down there with East Baton Rouge representatives to take a look at both sides of the bayou. This is Bayou Manchac. The right side of this picture is the Ascension Parish bank line. The left side is the East Baton Rouge bank line. So you can see progress on the right, things being cleaned out, and the magnitude on the left. These are images of the magnitude that will show up on the East Baton Rouge side of Manchac. And we're going to move to Conway. So Conway, similar to Manchac, a close-up view of where they're at today. This is the progress in orange. And again, the staging area you see there is the wildlife management area where they load out and they bring the debris to get loaded out and onto Lamar Dixon. Some pictures of Conway. And again, good pictures just to show the magnitude, the size of the trees coming out. And here's Panama for you, the same image, right? Progress on Panama. You'll see staging for the Panama section is the landfill just off of 70 there. And again, the magnitude of the trees on the barge there, just look at the size of these trees coming out. This is a really nice picture to show you the level of blockage in the canal. Right behind the down tree, you can see the growth that's starting to pop up. And on the other side where you do have debris, but you still get a little bit more flow. This is the exact image of why this is needed, right? This is the blockages that are blocking your channels. This is what needs to get cleaned out. And the last one here is New River. As I mentioned, it just kind of started that process, 9,000 cubic yards into it though. And with some images, again, look at the size of these trees. And this is another great picture just to show you the level of blockages that they're dealing with, right? So you can see he's actively working to clear this from the barge. This picture is taken from another barge that the inspector's on, and just look at the blockages between him and what's being cleared to date. Some more good images there. And then lastly, I mentioned that as the debris gets loaded out, it's taken to Lamar Dixon for temporary disposal. So this is the same place the right-of-way debris operation was using for temporary disposal. You'll see on the left, debris that's piled, on the right, debris that has been mulched. So as the pile continues to grow, DRC mulches it into what you see there, and then they will remove that to its final destination at the landfill. This is the image of a pile that has yet to be mulched, but just, again, gives you an idea of magnitude of debris coming out of the waterways to date. So with that, the last slide here, just to give an overview of where we're going next, right? Debris removal is continuing in the channels that I mentioned to you in this slide or in this presentation. And we're working to continually keep ahead of the contractor with a priority of the next waterway based off of the assessments we've done, looking at severity and known issues, blockages, et cetera. And then again, as we continue forward, continue to permit more and more of these channels to again stay ahead of the contractor in that process, using the waterway assessment we've done already to guide that permitting and to stay ahead of it. So with that, that actually concludes my presentation. If there are any questions, I'd be glad to field them.
Thank you, Jared. Appreciate your presentation. Very, very good information for us to have. Do I have any questions from council members? Jared, would you unshare your screen so we can get back? There we go. Any questions? Terry has her hand raised up right now.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Jared, I love seeing the list of permits that are issued, and I would like to have a date of issuance on those permits from you all, please. And if those permits have an expiration date, I'd also like to see that.
Sure thing. I can get that for you.
Thank you. Great presentation, by the way. I'm very proud of the work that's being done.
Thank you very much.
Is that it?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Next, I had Corey.
Hey, Jared, thanks for that. Question I have, I mean, obviously the work we're doing is focused on drainage. Is this something that's being paid for by the drainage, East Ascension Drainage, or is this being taken care of by the parish? Can you fill us in on that?
So this project is being funded through the FEMA program, right? That's the intent. So the way the FEMA program works, it's a reimbursement program. So you do have to pay up front, right? And it is a 90-10 cost share program. So FEMA reimburses 90%, the parish would cover the 10% at the end of the day, right? So initially it would have to be funded by you all. But the intent is that we would approach FEMA for this funding.
Well, I guess the question I have, and maybe it's not for you, maybe the president can answer that question for us. You know, are these funds going to come from parish bank, or is it going to come from East Ascension Drainage? Who's responsible for making the arrangements and taking care of the payments of this operation?
I may need to defer that answer to somebody else as far as the fiscal actual fund.
And that would be the parish, if I'm not mistaken. Ruth, is it confirm that? But yes, that's why it becomes in front of the council for approval, just
right.
as the cooperative endeavor agreement with EBR tonight.
Well, that part of it I understand, but how are we avoiding any kind of commingling of funds or having issues with the responsibilities of the two separate government agencies? I mean, how are we working on that?
So one of the reasons you do that is so that we can handle the West Bank as well. This is a parish-wide initiative in FEMA funding. And so, you know, what you don't want to do is you want to handle it through the parish because it is parish-wide. That's East Bank and West Bank under the FEMA guidelines. And so there is no commingling of funds for match money. It comes straight from the parish and then we're reimbursed. And that's one of those reasons. So when we get to the West Bank, we don't start trying to tap into West Ascension drainage funds, which are obviously limited. And I think it's majority of the time, historically, it's always been handled through the parish, not through the drainage districts for these type of reimbursements through hurricane events.
Great, I appreciate it. I was not aware of the situation. I just wanted to get clarification on that. Anyways, I'm thankful. I understand that we had a meeting a couple of weeks back with Congressman Graves that was called. We had another meeting called, and everybody started pushing really hard to get East Baton Rouge on board with us to clean Bayou Manchac. So I'm thankful for the work that's getting done there. Citizens need it. Much appreciated. That's all I have, John.
Thank you, Corey. Coach, I think you were next. Unmute, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Cagnati. I want to thank Mr. Jarrett for the report. It was very enlightening to know that the parish of Ascension took care of most of the debris on the West Bank and in the city of Donaldsonville. We were very grateful and thankful that we was able to do that for the city in itself. Also, Mr. Comey, the COVID kit that's going to be done Tuesday at the Ascension Parish Frank Sotil Pavilion. That is real grateful and thankful that's going to take place from the parish that we have. So very enlightening, very thankful that we can do that for the citizen and the community in which we live. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much. Any other questions? I thought maybe Dal, no. Okay, we're going back to the secretary. The call-in period has ended, and I understand we do have quite a few calls. Madam Secretary?
So we have several calls and several emails after. I'll read the emails after the callers. The first caller is Mr. Alan Robert. He wants to speak on item 7A, and he's in District 4.
Yes, my name is Alan Robert. I live in the district. I'm a lifelong resident of Ascension Parish. I lived for the last 33 years on Greenbrier Avenue. My backyard backs up to this proposed industrial park where Mr. Ducote is asking for 3 industrial lots. This entire area is residential with a few small businesses on Old Perkins. There are no industries at all in this area. Mr. Ducote currently has a non-conforming fabrication shop on Lot 4, which is zoned residential. Lots 2 and 3 are also zoned residential, and they've had no businesses operating on them since I moved into my house over 30 years ago. There are no signs advertising any business fronting on Magnolia Estates other than Mr. Ducote's fab shop, in spite of his claims. He admits in his application that a large number of 18-wheelers will be coming in and out. This will only add to a very serious traffic problem that already exists in drainage. Old Perkins is a historic road. It cannot be widened or expanded. There is no red light at Magnolia Estates, so traffic will definitely back up across the railroad track, causing serious hazards to the motoring public. Mr. Ducote talks about subdivision restrictions or lack thereof, which have absolutely nothing to do with this, and the ones he attached are from a 1988 amendment that is unsigned by the homeowners. They simply attached the 1982 signature page, making these restrictions totally null and void. And finally, he talks about a 40-foot natural barrier. That 40-foot natural barrier is my backyard, which I've had to let grow in underbrush to hide his operation. There's nothing on his property that deals with any natural barrier. He, in fact, knocked down all of the trees with a bulldozer, and he knocked down the wooden fence that separated our 2 properties a few years ago. I personally had to go out there and stop him from crossing the property line as he was knocking down that wooden fence. I ask you to please preserve the residential nature of this area of the parish. And thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Robert. Who's next, Senator?
Ms. Amber Earnhardt, she's also on item 7A. And just to be clear, item 7A is a rezone request from medium intensity residential to light industrial for Magnolia Estates. Ms. Amber Earnhardt.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Okay. So I'm actually against the P&Z's recommendation to deny this man the right to restore the zoning to what it was prior to it becoming residential. It makes absolute no sense. Mr. Robert's claiming just now that there are no other businesses operating with frontage on Magnolia Estates is absolutely bogus. There are 4 businesses right across the street. These 3 lots are sandwiched between 2 businesses with 4 other businesses operating like a storage facility, a car wash, a dump truck, a garbage service, I believe it is, and a boutique. All 4 of them are operating right across the street. They zoned that area when Magnolia, and wrote it in their charter when Magnolia Estates was first founded, that front area would be commercial property. What they've done now is pretty much make that land worthless, because who's going to build a house between 2 buildings? A home between 2 businesses, a fabrication shop. The residents in Magnolia Estates support the rezoning of this because those 18-wheelers, they're already there. That's not going to bring 18-wheelers there. They're already going up and down this neighborhood to turn around in the back, and they're destroying the road. So the only options they left Mr. Ducote is continue destroying the road the way it is, or sell his property to a developer. That's what the Planning and Zoning Commission has done. And it's wrong. So I am completely and totally against the Planning and Zoning Commission's recommendation to deny this man the ability to use his property. All he wants to do is back trucks in there and unload and load. Otherwise, he has to close his fabrication shop or keep destroying the roads. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next, Madam Secretary.
Next caller is Aura Connor. And at the same item, 7A.
Yes, my name is Ora Connor. I have the 6th house on the left-hand side in Greenbrier Estate. And I'm calling, I can't say that I know all of the details behind the zoning commission's recommendation, but I am against any more trucks that are being turned around because the noise from the other street is a consideration of mine. And my property does back up to Magnolia Estates. So I am against them allowing any more trucks to come through that neighborhood, the highway at 427. We have a difficult time just trying to get out trucks. And we also have buses that turn in and out. Those are also something that we have to take into consideration. So I don't think they've really reviewed the impact that it's going to have on the entire area. And that's my comment.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, Madam Secretary.
Ora Connor
has left.
Several emails to read, all on item 7A. The first is from Suzanne Keller. My name is Suzanne Keller, and my husband and I have lived on Greenbrier Avenue for 27 years. Greenbrier backs up to Magnolia Lane. Our family has a home that is adjacent to the property up for rezone. We also have family property just 2 lots down from the adjacent property. Our families would like to ask the council to follow the recommendations of the zoning commission and not grant approval for rezoning lots 2, 3, and 4 on Magnolia Lane. The amount of noise currently being produced on this property is already intrusive enough. We have all seen the massive increases in traffic on Old Perkins. I believe that any rezoning of any properties already zoned residential property in that area will only add to traffic and safety issues. I oppose any rezone. The next is Miss Marilyn Lambert. I am opposed to the rezoning of lots 2, 3, and 4 of Magnolia Estate subdivision. This rezoning request is item 7A on the January 20th council agenda. I live in Greenbrier Estates, which is right next to Magnolia Estates. A rezone to light industrial is not warranted and would seriously devalue adjoining residential properties. I urge you to please uphold the recommendation of the zoning committee to deny this rezoning request. Thank you very much. Jim Keller, 7A. My name is Jim Keller, and I have lived on Greenbrier Avenue for 27 years. Greenbrier backs up to Magnolia Lane. Our family has a home that is adjacent to the property up for rezone. We also have family property just 2 lots down from the adjacent property. Our families would ask the council to follow the recommendations of the zoning commission and not grant approval for rezoning lots 2, 3, and 4 on Magnolia Lane. We've all seen the massive increases in traffic on Old Perkins. We believe that any rezone of any properties already zoned residential property in that area will only add traffic to and safety issues. Mr. Eddie Lambert, I am a resident of Greenbrier Estates, and I'm opposed to the rezone of lots 2, 3, and 4 of Magnolia Estates to light industrial. Those lots back up to Greenbrier Estates, which are residential. The rezoning to allow commercial use would devalue the surrounding property and could open up the gate to a multitude of uses, thereby creating a nuisance. Eddie Lambert. And that's all.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. Any other calls or emails?
No, that's it.
Okay, thank you. We'll return to the agenda. Item 6A, general business. Cooperative endeavor agreement between the Parish of Ascension and Ascension Parish 4-H to provide funding in the amount of $8,000 to assist Ascension Parish 4-H with the South Central Livestock Show to be held February 22nd at Lamar Dixon Expo Center.
Motion to
approve. Motion by Councilman Orgeron, second by Michael Mason. Any questions? Any objection? There being none, the motion carries.
Question, John. CAG, question. I do have a question.
Who was that?
Corey, I do have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
I was going to ask the administration if this is is this is the amount that we normally have donated in years past. Is that the same amount that we've done in the years past?
I can't answer that, but I think so.
Miss Rachel shaking her head, yes.
This is Renee.
I'm sorry.
This is Renee Castro. I'm in charge of the livestock show. And yes, that is the amount that we normally get from you guys every year. And I just want to say thank you and we appreciate it.
Well, Renee, knowing how everything is going up recently, I mean, is there any, I would like to propose that we give an increase to our 4-Hers this year in particular, considering the issues that we've been facing throughout the parish. So I wanted to amend this to maybe increase that to $10,000 this year. Let's see if I can get a second on that amendment.
We have Madam Secretary, we had a motion and a second, and there was no objection, but I was moving through before I recognized Renee. So procedure, can we go back and let him propose an amended motion?
I'm not clear on that, Chairman Cagnolotti.
Well, I'll go ahead and allow it. We've got an amended motion by Councilman Orgeron to increase the donation to 4-H for their livestock show to $10,000. Do I have a second?
Second.
Coach, I got a motion and a second on the amended agenda item 6A to increase the donation to the 4-H from $8,000 to $10,000 this year. Any further question? Any objection? There being none, motion passes. Congratulations, Renee. We're glad to help.
Thank you so much. And I do want to invite all of you guys to come out to our show this year. It's February 3rd through the 5th at Lamar-Dixon.
Okay,
thanks for the great work you do, Renee.
Thank y'all.
Thank you so much. All right, moving along. Item B, 6B, approval of change order number 7, Ascension Parish Courthouse Project, the Lemoyne Company to decrease the amount of the contract by $94,640.
Motion. Second.
I got 5 motions, but anyway, I'll take Chase's motion, second by Terry. Any discussion? Any objection? There being none, that motion carries. Item C, renewal of a contract with Total Energy Solutions Company, LLC for major and minor preventive maintenance and building load tests 2 times per year on each unit. Total amount $135,230.02. Mr. Compton.
Yes, sir. Thank you. This contract will enable us to actually load test our generators this year. What we discovered this past hurricane season was that while we were performing maintenance on those generators, when we actually applied a load to them because of need, they were starting to fail. So we need to do these load tests prior to hurricane season to know if those generators are fully functional.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Need a second? Terry gave a motion, second by Michael. All right, any further discussion? I just have a quick question, Rick. This 135,230, does that include not just the load testing, but the maintenance they were doing? In addition, they'll do the load testing, correct?
Yes, sir. There will be a minor inspection, a major inspection, and 2 load tests on each generator over the course of the year.
Okay, thank you much. I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Question. Ms.
Just a question. Ricky, when was this contract originally issued and when has it been submitted for bids at any time in the recent past?
I don't have access to that information right this second. We considered going out to re-quote it, but when we met with Total Energy, we were happy with the service we were receiving when they explained to us that the fact that we weren't load testing it was the reason why we were receiving those failures after a hurricane and they were kicking on. So I think at the end of this year, it would be wise for us to go out and re-quote these just to make sure we're getting a good price and a good service. But I can't give you that information. I just don't have the historical data.
That's fine. I would just encourage us to rebid this year for sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, any other questions? All right, is there any objection to the motion? There being none, that motion carries. Thank you. Item D, approval of cooperative endeavor agreement between the Parish of Ascension and East Baton Rouge Parish granting authorization for the East Baton Rouge Parish to piggyback on the contract between DRC Waterways. Got a motion from Terry, second by Corey. Any questions? Any objection? There being none, that motion carries.
I need to
Next is item E, approval for the amendment of number 6, an automated fleet fuel system supplier for on-site dispensing of bulk and bulk deliveries by Roland J. Robert Distributors Incorporated, extending 6 months to begin February 1st, 2022.
I need
Patrick
to
Joel Smith. I'm sorry, recognize Joel.
Yeah, I just wanted to abstain from the item.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm sorry about that.
We got you. No problem. All right, I got questions. Go ahead. Let's see. Aaron, I think you were first.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. I was looking at this, and we came upon this issue several months ago, talking about rebidding these kind of contracts, specifically the fuel contracts. And we also talked about the concern of we get these kind of contracts literally this one 2 to 3 weeks before it's due, and we really don't have any decision that we can make many times other than to approve it. Otherwise, the contract goes away. In this case, a couple of months ago, we did ask that the legal department notify the right people about when these contracts are going to end so they can go out to bid and do that properly. And I will say in this case, to my understanding, that the legal department did do that back in October, notified the head of fleet about this contract, but it still hasn't gone out for bid. And for that reason, this needs to go out for bid. It hasn't gone out for bid since 2016, February 1st of 2016. Moreover, the actual original contract that we're amending here, that we're extending here, is not in here. I have no idea what the terms of that original contract are. I doubt anybody on the council has any idea of what the original contract is, meaning that we have no idea what we're extending right now. For that reason, it is important that our people have fuel so they can continue to do work around the parish and get things done. But by the same token, we need to understand what we're approving, what we're not approving, and have ample time to do it and have the administration complete the process. They did a good job of notifying the right people that this thing was going to be expiring and that they needed to do the work to have it rebid, except it didn't get done. So what I'd like to do is offer an amendment that we extend this contract by 3 months with the understanding that at the end of that 3 months, we will not approve a further extension. And if that means work is not done in the parish because there's not fuel, number one, I don't think that's a real issue because people can use fuel cards and go to gas stations and get fuel. So that really is not a legitimate concern. But really, this is on the administration to take these next 3 months, do what has to be done, get this bid out, do it properly so that we can have a contract that's not approximately 7 years old. And frankly, I'll be honest, I don't know what we're extending here. I don't know what the terms of the original contract are. I don't know anything about it. It's not attached to the agenda. So, I really have concerns about voting yes on something that I have no idea about. And that's something I have to ask the administration is where's the information on this? But that's my amendment that I'm offering is that it's going to be 3 months for this contract extension. And I will make it clear that at the end of that 3 months, I will certainly vote no to extend any contracts any further on this issue.
All right, Aaron, to get it straight, you're amending the proposal to extension of 3 months and that the administration go out for an RFQ and have that finalized within 90 days to have a new contract or a renewal of the existing contract, correct?
Yeah, I don't see any reason why this thing can't be bid out and have the results come in and us vote on it within the next 3 months.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, could I provide some information to help y'all with the decision?
Yeah, let me finish with this. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Yes, second.
All right, I got a motion from Aaron, second from Terry, an amended motion. Go ahead, Patrick.
And Councilman Lawler, we agree. We need to bid this, and we have been working on it for a while. And just to give you a status, the 3 months should work. What has happened as we were going through this process to do the RFP and to make sure we got it right, we learned some valuable lessons from Hurricane Ida. It's kind of an unprecedented disaster. It was the first time we had a disaster with our new fueling station, and we learned a few things about issues with getting fuel, accounting for the fuel, different entities providing fuel because of the lack of fuel. So I do want to give a shout out to Jade, to Dawn Caballero, and to Juancita Babin. They did a great job of working with Robears, and they were very, very accommodating to try to get through those issues. But I think we all learned a lot of things that we needed to address in the RFP. So that did delay things. Also making sure that we include the generator specific data in there to make sure those get paid. The other big thing that happened was as we're going through this and we're updating units with the work order software, we realized we weren't getting electronic data that we needed. And so we wanted to make sure that this RFP spelled out specifically what we needed, and also to help finance, because we're entering this information manually when we get the bills. So we wanted to make sure we got it right. Brian Martinez today provided, I think, the final piece of the puzzle to get this thing done. So we will be moving forward with this fairly rapidly to get this out, because you're right, we do need to get this done. We need to get it bid. We need to get the results. But I think now we have the information that is going to make this a much better contract. It's going to be a much better process. There's going to be more accountability. There's going to be more transparency, and it's going to help that work order system. So we are working on it. We hear you, and I apologize that the existing contract was not attached. I wasn't aware, and I will make sure y'all all get a copy of that ASAP.
Patrick, you're the influence for this. I remember talking with you about something similar happening in the Capitol. And you said, hey, we told them, no, we're not going to do this. And something, you put an end to something, and you know what? You never had that problem with that committee again. So we're trying to do the same thing here. That's all.
No, absolutely. And we want to make sure that we don't sacrifice quality for timeliness. And so I think what you'll see is when this goes out, it's going to be a huge improvement, and it's going to be better. So yes, we want to make sure this is right for y'all, and we will get it done.
Okay, thank you.
I have a motion, amended motion, and a second. One question, Patrick, is 3 months is okay? Y'all can live with 3 months?
Yes, sir. We can live with 3 months. We made huge progress today, and so we will move as fast as we can. If something does happen, obviously, if we need a little bit more time because of the results of the RFP, we would have to come back to you and ask for a little bit more time. Really, until we get those results, until we get those bids come in, we'll have to kind of see where that takes us, and if there's maybe something that was unforeseen. But we will definitely keep you informed as this process goes forward and we get those responses for the RFP.
Okay. Go ahead, Chase.
Yeah, I believe my question is for Patrick as well. Is this an RFQ or RFP? Are we strictly just after the best price we can get for fuel, or is it also, are we taking into account during Ida, how well this vendor performed and timelines or anything like that? So I was just curious if this is RFQ or RFP situation.
So we're gonna be doing an RFP because we're gonna be requesting some specific prices. Fuel is a little different. We actually get it tied to the Opus price so that we know that we're getting a really good price. There's even actually now a state contract on this that could even be in the mix. And in terms of contractor performance, I'm glad you said that. We're actually working on that right now to ensure that prior performance of contractors and vendors is included in all of our decisions. So whether it's a contract or whether it's just we're buying a commodity, we want to make sure that we look at that prior performance, and that'll actually be part of the process and part of the scoring when we actually do the RFP.
Good. Dempsey, go ahead.
Johnny, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, I apologize, but look, I was looking at just strictly comments, and one was for Ricky on the total energy solution. I wanted to make sure that we have Wi-Fi capability on those generators, so our people can call in and make sure that in an event these things are ready to go. Just make sure they have Wi-Fi capability.
Okay, that's we can talk about that off the record right now. You can get with Ricky on that, and we can make it an agenda item down the road. But right now, it's not an agenda item, but we can address it.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So I have a amended motion by. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Aaron.
Yes. I'm just a little confused. Why is this an RFP versus a bid? I mean, we don't do RFPs for asphalt. We don't do RFPs for other things like this. And I'm not sure that other parishes do RFPs for fuel. It just seems a very odd way to do it, that this really should be something that's bid and we just get the best price on fuel and we separate any other service portions of it.
I think the difference is there's a lot of different specifications, like for the emergencies, what they will do, what they won't do. We have them putting fuel in our tanks. And so there's lots of different types of fuel that's tied to different prices. There are different ways you can do this. There are ways where you can say, we're going to pay for it when you put it in our tank. We're going to pay one price, and then we're just going to take our chances, how the prices change over the next month. Somebody can propose, which is the way we do it now, that it's a 10-day average OPUS price, which benefits us because it takes a little bit of the volatility out for us because, it's kind of smoothed over 10 days. So as opposed to asphalt, where it's just a strict commodity where they're going to, provide us, asphalt, there's going to be a lot of different stipulations. There's also going to be a lot of stipulations related to the data, how they provide it, how it's broken down, because we also have the fuel cards. That's a component of it. There's a lot of different moving parts, and it's so that we can make sure, especially for the work order system, that when we get that charge, we know, is it drainage? Is it transportation? And so we can actually allocate it to the right individuals. And so those can be done a few different ways. So those proposals help us, evaluate what's the best way. And again, you can even compare that then to the state contract to see if one's better than the other, if one methodology is better than the other.
Can we also just demand that in the bid specs? Because, with the RFPs where it doesn't, we're not talking about the lowest price on things. At that point, it can be, we give it to whomever we want. And if we put it into a bid process and we put those specifications into the bid, we're talking about getting the best price on something.
Well, I tell you what I'll commit to do is first thing Monday morning, I'll sit down with purchasing, I'll sit down with fleet, and we'll talk through exactly what you're asking, and then I'll follow up with you to let you know kind of what the final answer is.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
You're on mute, Mr. Kaggs. John, you're on mute.
Chairman, you're still muted.
John, you're
John.
muted.
We cannot hear you, John.
Go ahead, Corey.
Thank you, John. I'm asking, my statement here is going to be directed towards administration. And as Aaron stated earlier, it seems like we keep having these 11th hour requests for contract renewals. And, it kind of puts everybody in a difficult spot. I'm reminding the administration here in January that, to my knowledge, our liability insurance contracts are going to be up for renewal again at the end of February. And I am requesting that they get that information to us, consider putting it back out for bid so that we can make sure that we're getting a fair price. It's time that we start being a little frugal with the citizens' money as we were asked to do. by those who elected us. So please know I will not vote for a contract renewal if it comes to us at the 11th hour. You guys have a month and a half. Let's get some due diligence in and let's see whether or not we can get some competitive pricing and a competitive product. Thank you.
Okay. We have an amended motion from Aaron and seconded that we reduce the extension to 3 months on this contract. Any further discussion? Any objection? The amended motion passes. Moving forward, item F, approval of change order number 1 in the amount of $1,543 for increased costs of materials and equipment since the bid date. Delcon Hillryville Wastewater Treatment Plant Project, new total of $121,193. Dean?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Dean had a procedure done, so he was not able to be here, so keep him in your prayers. This is the...
hello there, Mr. Dawson.
Yeah.
Glad to see your face.
Well, thank you. Good to be seen. This project is one that been going on for a while. This is the Hillryville system where we are in the process of doing the CDBG project. We had to increase the size of the treatment plant. This is one that's finishing this up. The increase is for $1,500.
Make a motion.
Second.
I got a motion from Travis, I think it was.
Joel.
No. Who was that?
Joel.
Joel, I'm sorry. I got a motion from Joel, second from Michael. Any discussion? Any objection? That motion carries. Thank you, Ken.
Welcome.
Moving right along with the same thing, approval of substantial completion for Hillryville Wastewater Treatment Plant renovation.
Motion.
LLC.
Second.
Motion by Michael, second by Terry. Any discussion? Any objection? There being none, that motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Item H. I'm sorry, Joel.
Thank you.
Oh,
I was just telling Ken, good day.
all right. Moving along. Item H, approval to purchase 2 2023 Freightliner M2-106 Encore Rescue trucks for Fire District 1, state contract 4400017741. Siddons Martin Emergency Group LLC, total cost of $808,811.93.
Motion.
Motion by, who did it?
Dempsey.
Dempsey. Motion by Dempsey, second by Chase. Any further discussion? Any objection? There being none, that motion passes. Approval of Cooperative Endeavor Agreement between the City of Donaldsonville and the Ascension Parish Recreation Department for the use of the Lemon Center and to provide recreational programs in Donaldsonville. Motion by Coach, second by Chase. Any further discussion?
Yes, I'd like to.
Go ahead, Coach.
Yes, in moving forward in the with the Lemon Center and the Parish of Ascension taking care of recreation on the West Bank and doing the preliminaries, getting the Lemon Center fixed, so to speak. And we're very grateful and thankful. I look forward to continue working with the City of Donaldsonville in moving the Lemon Center and getting it up to par for the community and for the kids of the West Bank. So we want to thank you all for the contribution of monies that have been given to us for the remodeling of the Lemon Center and just moving forward. We just want to thank the parish. Thank you.
Okay, Coach. Thank you. I had a motion and a second. Any objection? There being none, motion carries. Item J, approval of cooperative endeavor agreement between Kingdom Fitness Recreation and the Parish of Ascension for parish basketball program. Michael King. Go ahead, Michael.
Motion to approve, Chair.
Motion to approve by Chase, second by Coach. Any further discussion? Any objection? There being none, that motion carries. Item K, approval of facility usage agreement between Ascension Catholic High School, I guess it is, and Parish. Motion by Coach, second by Michael. Any further discussion? Any objection? There being none, that motion carries. Item L, approval of cooperative endeavor agreement with the Ascension Parish School Board for roadway corridor improvements at Parker Road and Highway 929. Joey.
Motion.
Motion by Michael. Second by Joel. Any discussion?
Just taking a little.
I have a question. Go ahead, Chase. I have a question as well. Go ahead, Chase.
Yeah, I just got one quick comment. To Mr. Joey and the school board and everything. This is a really good thing right here. We got a new school coming up, and we have parish government in the school. You know, going pretty much 50-50 on the cost of putting this turn lane down Parker Road. So I was really excited to see this. I'm glad that two entities are working together, especially with this area right here. So I want to thank everyone for this. I think this is a good step in the right direction. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. And I have a comment as well. We had an issue with parking at Galvez Middle School. We had one at Galvez Primary, and we took care of those. We took care of some parking issues. We're addressing traffic issues, and we're working quite well with the school board. And we do appreciate their help and cooperation, trying to get traffic moving and kids safely brought to and from school. So thank you for that. So I have a motion and a second to approve item L. Any further discussion? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Aaron.
John, I also just want to say that, first of all, Corey has his hand up. I don't know if he wants to talk or if he's just left up there. I don't want to forget him. No, that Ruth has played a very instrumental part in this. I know during the week we've been exchanging emails, working back and forth. Ruth has really put in a lot of time to make sure the CEA is where it has to be. She and Joey both. Joey's already on there and getting the recognition, but Ruth isn't getting the recognition right now. So I want to give that to her because she's putting a lot of time and hard work into this. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Okay, go ahead, Corey. I don't see him. Did you go away, Corey?
Hey, John. No, John. My hand was up from that you missed me on. No biggie.
Right, very good. Any further discussion on item L? Okay. Any objection? There being none, that motion carries. Going up to item 7, planning and zoning recommendations. Item A, zoning review IDPZ 2736.21, lots 2, 3, 4, Magnolia Lane subdivision, or Jody Dakota, located on the east side of Magnolia Estates, approximately 350 feet north of Perkins Road, to amend the Ascension Parish zoning map from medium intensive residential to light industrial, to accept or deny the recommendation. The planning and zoning commission has recommended denial.
Okay.
Second. Got a motion from Dempsey to approve the planning and zoning's recommendation. Do I have a second? Second, Chase. Second, Chase. Chase has a question.
Yeah, I just have a quick comment. I just wanted to point out a lot of the comments that we've heard in emails and calls I've received. I really think it's important for the people to know that this rezone, this property owner is not asking for a rezone to commercial, to either mixed use or mixed use two. He's asking for a rezone to light industrial. There's a very big difference between mixed use and light industrial. So look, if he was asking for a mixed use or maybe even a specific spud project that he would bring before us, is definitely something that I would reconsider. But there's too many bad possibilities in a light industrial zoning backed up to residential homes and that's where my heartburn comes from. So I wanted that for the record, that this isn't a commercial rezone. This is light industrial. There's a very, very big difference. And thank you.
Matter of fact, all my research dealing with it from the city and in the parish for the last 6 years, this is classic spot zoning. I mean, this is putting an industrial facility in the middle of nothing but residential. So I tend to agree with that statement. So any other comments? Any discussions? Any objection? The motion carries. Item B, zoning review, IDPZ 2776.22, 1.34 acre lot on the Ruby Ori property for Michael Frasina, located on the south side of Seabro Road, approximately 1,050 feet west of LA 73, to amend the Ascension Parish zoning map from medium intensity residential to mixed use corridors, to accept or deny a recommendation. The recommendation of planning and zoning is to approve. I need a motion to accept their recommendation.
I'll make that motion to accept the recommendation.
Motion by Terry, second by Chase.
Second.
Any further discussion? Any objection? There being none, that motion carries. Moving on to item 8, introduction of ordinances. Mr. DePatty.
You don't need to read those, John.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Introduction. Oh, this is the first one. Okay. Introduction of an ordinance to declare surplus and authorize the sale of movable property, right-of-way property located on Commerce Lane. I just need a motion to introduce.
Motion to introduce.
Motion by Mr. Aaron
Mr.
Lawler. Thank you so much for your motion. Item 9, public hearings, ordinances, legal counsel. Now we need Kenneth DePatty. Please read the ordinance to amend the Ascension Parish Code of Ordinances, Chapter 2, Administration, to add Section 2-121, procedure for records requests by council members.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Purpose: to amend the Ascension Parish Code of Ordinances, Chapter 2, Administration, to add Section 2-121, procedure for records requests by council member. Whereas Ascension Parish is a local governmental subdivision as defined by Article 6, Section 44 of the Louisiana Constitution of 1974, and whereas Article 6 of the Home Rule Charter of Ascension Parish adopted May 4, 1993, identifies the process and manner in which to adopt ordinances regulating the laws of this parish, and now therefore be it ordained by the Ascension Parish Governing Authority that the Code of Ordinances of Ascension Parish Board of Chapter 2, Administration, be amended to add Section 2-121, procedure for records requests by council member as follows. Upon the request of records and or information kept and are in the control of the Ascension Parish government by a council member, the administration shall provide the requested information within 3 business days without the cost to the council member. If the requested information and or records cannot be produced within 3 business days, the administration shall provide a written reason why it cannot be produced and a time delays and a date by which it will be produced. If any information and or records are deemed privileged, a privileged log shall be provided. Severability: in the event that any portion of this ordinance is ever held invalid or unconstitutional for any reason by any court of competent jurisdiction over it, such portion shall be deemed separate, distinct, and independent provision and shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions of the ordinance. The effective date this ordinance shall be in full effect as permitted by law. The ordinance having been submitted to a vote, the vote thereon was as follows.
Okay, we don't need a public hearing on this. We just need a motion to move the ordinance.
Motion to move.
Terry moves to move the ordinance, second by Aaron. Any discussion? Any objection? There being none, the motion passes. Next, item C, reading of an ordinance. Go ahead, Kenneth, if you would.
Parish Council.
Good evening. This is Malcolm.
Okay, that's yours, Malcolm. I'm sorry.
That's okay. This is an ordinance directing the renewal of the levy and collection of an ad valorem tax of 2 mills on the dollar of assessed cap valuation of all property subject to taxation within the geographic boundaries of the parish of Ascension, state of Louisiana, for a period of 10 years, beginning with the year 2022 and ending with the year 2031, for the purpose of maintaining and supporting the Ascension Parish Public Health Center, including buildings, maintenance, expenses, and other related health care expenses. I ask that the council consider the passage of this ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Do we need to have this read? It says Kenneth to read the ordinance? No? Okay. I got a motion to approve. And I have a second. Any discussion? Any objection? There being none, that motion passes. Thank you, Malcolm. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Y'all have
motion to enter executive session.
Second.
Item 10, executive session. We need a roll call vote to enter executive session. Got a motion from
And I need
Michael?
to abstain from this first one, so I just won't even go to it. So how's that work?
Yeah, we're
Just
going to
don't
have,
go into the virtual
IT is
room.
going to come in and block out all the public access, and it's just going to be us.
Okay, I'm just saying last time I was told that I can't even go in it. So make sure y'all block me out.
Okay. On A, can they
On
do
A.
that? Why don't you just sign off and someone can text you when we're back to go to item B?
That works.
He doesn't
Can't do that?
he doesn't have to, he don't have to sign off, John. IT
Okay.
is gonna work y'all into the executive session room
Okay.
after the vote
Okay.
to go in.
Cool.
Okay. I have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, Madam Secretary.
Councilman Thomas,
Yes.
Councilman Turner,
Yes.
Councilman Orgeron, Councilman Orgeron,
Thank you, left.
Bueller.
Councilman Lambert,
Yes.
Councilman Melanson,
Yes.
Councilman Lawler,
Yes.
Councilman Wagasback,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilwoman Casso,
Yes, and Councilman Ogeron's back in.
Yeah, he's back.
Councilman Orgeron, a vote to go into executive session, please.
What's the count right now? Yes, let's go.
Oh, God.
Chairman Cagnolati,
Yes.
okay, IT is going to bring y'all into the executive session room.
You want breakout room?
Yes.
Motion to
Okay,
reconvene.
folks. All right, motion to reconvene by Dempsey, second by Terry. Any objection? There being none, we're back into regular session. I need a motion to go into executive session for Employee Vehicle Accident Settlement Authority.
Motion.
Motion by Michael.
John, you have to.
We have to do the other one.
Oh, we have to do a roll call vote.
Oh, yeah.
No,
We gotta make our motion for the other one.
We have to make our motion, John, for the first executive session, how we have to
I'm
do
sorry.
that.
Thank you, Terry.
No
That's that
problem.
experience helping me along. I need
Lots
a
of us
motion for the action taken in executive session. Councilman Lawler.
Yes, I'll make a motion that we continue negotiations.
Second.
Got a motion by Councilman Lawler, second by Councilwoman Cazzo. Any objections to the motion? There being none, that motion passes. Item B, Employee Vehicle Accident Settlement Authority. I need a motion to go into executive session. Moved by Councilman Orgeron, second by Councilman Melanson. Roll call vote, Madam Secretary.
Councilman Thomas,
Yes.
Councilman Robert,
Yes.
Councilman Turner,
Yes.
Councilman Orgeron, Councilman Lambert,
Yes.
Councilman Melanson,
Yes.
Councilman Lawler,
Yes.
Councilman Wagasback,
Yes.
Councilman Mason,
Yes.
Councilwoman Casso,
Yes.
Chairman Cagnalotti.
Yes. Need a motion to go back into regular session.
Motion.
We need to make the
Corey,
vote.
second by Michael. Regarding item 10B, Employee Vehicle Accident Settlement Authority.
Motion,
Lawler.
Yes, I make a motion that we settle the claim for the stated amounts.
Second.
Second by Councilman Melanson. Any further discussion? Any objection? That carries. Motion carries. Item 11.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Hey, thank you. Motion by Michael, second by Coach. Folks, thank y'all for your patience. Appreciate everything.
Thank y'all.
Hopefully we'll get out of the virtual meeting soon. Okay. Motion adjourned. Meeting adjourned.